Hello everybody, it's just after 3 a.m. and I'm sitting in the car park of my local supermarket. Now, I'm sure you're going to be wondering, why on earth is he in a supermarket car park 3:10 in the morning? He should be in bed. And you're right, I should be in bed. But unfortunately, I suffer from some form of insomnia. I've always had problems sleeping my entire life, and once I've got my cigar lit, and I'll talk to you about it. Okay. Anyway, insomnia. I've always had problems getting to sleep. For as long as I can remember, I would lie awake at night for hours. And, of course, my bedtime has varied over the years, getting later as time went on. And now it's... I'm still told by my mother to get into bed. Though it's a bit more lax. She used to, almost every night, she would wake up. If she'd wake up, look at the time, and if it was after a certain time, she'd come in my room and check on me to make sure that I was in bed, and she used to get very, very angry with me. And this happened up until either this year or last year, so, I was 25, and she was still getting angry that I wasn't in bed on time. Now, if you ask me, that's not the sort of thing you should be doing to an adult, but that's my mother. And I'm not a morning person either. And because, not even when I, going to school and working and stuff, it was a struggle to get me up on time in the mornings. And, of course, not having a job means that I don't have to be up for anything. And, and of course, my parents would be at work, and I would quite often be the only one at home. And, I would just, lie in bed and sleep. And, to start with, it wasn't so bad. It was like, I would be getting up. I would get annoyed with myself if I didn't get up before 10 a.m. and then I would have to debate whether or not I would skip breakfast. As time went on, I, was getting up later and later. And then it sort of plateaued for a while. At any time between, 1:30 and 3 p.m. And the only reason I got up at 3 p.m. is because my mum would get home any time between 10 past and 3:30 from work. So I would have to be up in order to not get a bollocking from her. Because now she's changed her time. She goes into work half an hour early and therefore leaves half an hour early. So she tends to be at home, 2:45, 3, 10 to 3 type thing, so I have to be up a bit early then. But like maybe starting this year, it's like she would make damn sure that I was up, and she would get angry with me about it. She would come up and pull the covers off me and try to get me out of bed and threaten me and so on. She likes to make threats. But now it's almost like she's not as insistent anymore. Like, she'll say, Chris, you've got to get up. I say, okay. Half an hour later, Chris, you've got to get up. Okay. Half an hour later. And then it's just, getting to the point where some days I'm still in bed at, 4:30. Today, today I got up after 5 p.m. and it was dark outside, so I went to bed when it was dark, and I woke up when it was dark. Or got up, I should say. I was like in and out of consciousness after a certain point. So yeah, it was me getting up after 5. My breakfast was a burger and fries, which obviously, isn't the sort of thing you should be having for breakfast, but, we eat what my parents cook for us. And of course, I hadn't had any breakfast or lunch, and I was a bit hungry, so hence why, of course, me being wide awake and not having gotten up until after 5, I decided I'd come out, get myself some food like I normally do when I come here and make a video and talk about my insomnia, because that's a damn big thing in my life. Now, sometime it's either late September or early October, I had a week's where I didn't sleep for 3 nights out of the week. And there are times when, I'm still awake so late, or should I say early, because, by then it's, 6, 7, 8 a.m. or whatever, that I do think, fuck it, I'm getting up now. And I will not sleep or have a nap in the afternoon, and then try and, get to sleep at a decent time in the evening. But this one week, I didn't sleep Monday, slept Tuesday, didn't sleep Wednesday, slept Thursday, didn't sleep Friday, and then it was I was so damn tired that I, would take myself off to bed at, 9 o'clock or something, and I would sleep, but I would be constantly waking up. The annoying thing about me is that when I actually sleep early, is I'm always waking up in the night, like every 2 hours almost I was waking up, and look at the time, is it, oh fucking hell, try and go back to sleep, and then eventually fall asleep, and 2 hours later wake up, look at the time, 4 a.m, go back to sleep, wake up, look at the time, it's 6:30, and I may as well get up now, kind of thing. And that went on for quite a while, several weeks of it, and, but, as time went on, I got up later and later, so, it started off as being, 6:30, and then it was, 7:30, and then, 8 o'clock, then 9 o'clock, then after 10, and then just before lunch, and now it's just gone straight to pot again. I cannot maintain a good sleep schedule for the life of me. It was alright for a few weeks, and I felt okay, I was getting up in the morning and I was feeling okay, and I was feeling rested, and, I was having a good day, and then feeling tired when I actually want to feel tired, late in the evening as opposed to early in the morning, and, that meant I was able to, drive us up to Cornwall when we had our little trip up there. We were supposed to be taking my aunt, but September was it, I think, she broke several bones in her foot, and she hasn't fully recovered from it, so she didn't feel up to coming with us. So I just went with them, and I got to drive. I've been wanting to drive them for a while, but my mum, I guess, like I said before, she sometimes treats me like a child. She wouldn't let me drive before the last time because she said, oh, the roads are all bendy, and, you don't know where you're going, and Dad's a better driver than you, and all of that. And it's even though I did get to go this time, every time I drive with my mother in the car, she's very antagonising. It's like she will complain about every little thing, things that, I'm half a second to a second behind her in terms of my reaction. And she'll be like, brake! And my foot will already be on the brake pedal as she says it. And, she'll be reminding me of stuff. and she'll just be nagging and nagging and nagging, like a parent would if their child had just passed their driving test, sort of thing. And it's very patronising, and we often have arguments while I'm driving because she will always be going on and on and on and on at me. And I'm not a bad driver. Since I've been driving, I've only had two minor incidents. One that resulted in me having to have two doors replaced, but still, it was something minor. And another one was me rear-ending somebody because they started moving off at a junction, and I looked over to see if it was okay for me to go as well, and I start moving forward, and there was enough room for both of us to go. And then I look back to make sure that the person, the Mini in front of me is still going, but she stopped. Why is she stopped? There's plenty of room, so I have to slam on the anchors, and I go right into her rear end. But the other one, statistically, I am an awesome driver. Because most, especially men, are supposed to have a major accident before they're 20, and I had a minor accident when I was 24. Excuse me. So as far as the statistics are concerned, I'm a fucking awesome driver. But, she's always going on and on and on and nagging at me about it. We actually were having arguments with her, her sitting in the passenger seat next to me, and me saying, can you stop this, please? I'm 26 years old. You're talking to me like I'm 17 and I've just passed my test. And, I told her she was being patronising, and she just, she gets really indignant when you accuse her of something, even if it's true. Like I said, it's patronising, and I don't like it. It's just, I am not being patronising. It's like she thinks you can only be patronising if you intend to be patronising, which is frankly ridiculous. So yeah. Of course, I had I don't know why, but my driving position, in every car I've ever driven, I get really bad backache on my left shoulder. It's always in exactly the same place, and it's always exactly the same feeling. So it doesn't matter which what kind of car I have, what position I have the seat in, what position I have the steering wheel in, I will always get this pain. So I'm considering that the next car I buy is an automatic. Because, it's my left arm, and it could be because, I'm changing the gears all the time, so hopefully, that might make me feel a little bit better. But, yeah, with her nattering on at me all the goddamn time, and it wasn't a particularly enjoyable experience, though, I did put 500 miles, I did drive, almost all of it. I mean, my dad did drive a few times because my back was hurting. I thought, no, I can't be driving anymore, I've got to, just sit and, let my back ease up. But yeah, out of the 500 or so miles we drove, I probably drove about 350 to 400 of them. Which is the longest I've ever driven, for a trip or whatever. But yeah, my insomnia. I digress a lot. Yeah. Like, I'll be lying awake in bed for hours, and it's like I'm not tired, so, I would literally just be lying there and not sleeping to think, okay, what was it? I tend to, to get... Sorry, there's people looking past. Yeah, I tend to pull up my phone, lower the brightness all the way down so it doesn't wake me up so much. And, I'll either be talking to people or watching YouTube videos or playing games, whatever. That probably exacerbates it to a certain extent, but it's better than just lying awake, not tired, and, waiting on sleep. I have talked to my doctor about it, and her only suggestion was exercise, which, I hate doing, go out for walks and stuff, but, I don't like going out when there's, not a purpose or a destination in mind. I think it's pointless, and I'd rather just stay indoors. She's basically said that I need to be more active. But, everything, it's like I've seen this post going around Tumblr every once in a while. To cure your depression, you need to exercise, eat right, be more social, go out and do things, and basically everything that your depression prevents you from doing. So, great suggestion. She also suggested that I try some, sleeping tablets. I've said to her that I don't want to go down that route because it's hard enough for me to get to sleep as it is, and I wouldn't want to get to the stage where I have to take medication just to feel tired, because that could end up happening. And she just recommended. There's some twat driving around here like he's a street racer. I mean, it's a big car park and it's mostly empty, so you would kind of expect that. But anyway, I didn't want to take any of that stuff because I wouldn't want to become dependent on it. Because my mum, she's had neck problems for many, many years. She had a whiplash plot. It was caused by a theme park ride, and it's been hurting ever since. She's had massages and she's on prescription painkillers and stuff, and she's had to switch to harder stuff because the off-the-shelf painkillers aren't enough for her anymore, and I don't want to get to that stage with sleeping pills. So she recommended something called Piriton, which is a drowsy allergy medication. I tried, one tablet, didn't make me sleepy. The next night I tried 2 tablets, didn't make me sleepy. The next night I tried 3 tablets, didn't make me sleepy. And after that I tried 4 tablets, and it didn't make me sleepy. So I just gave up. This is a very big problem for me. A very annoying problem, and it prevents me from doing a lot of stuff, because of course if I'm not falling asleep until it's daylight outside, 6 a.m, 7 a.m, whatever, then I'm not getting up at a reasonable time and leaving myself time to do things, like go out and record these videos and stuff. It's not conducive to a good, active, healthy lifestyle. But unfortunately, I just can't seem to do anything about it for any length of time. Like, I made it a few weeks, and then it just gradually got back to the way it was before. And of course, when I wake up in the mornings, I don't feel rested. So I want to go back to sleep. I can never wake up in the morning and think, yeah, I can get up now. But I never feel like that, so I just want to end up going to sleep, and sleeping away in the morning, sleeping through lunch and part of the afternoon, and then I wake up and I feel even worse than I did when I started. And the only reason why I drag myself out of bed is because my mum keeps going on and on and on at me. If there was nobody around to go on and on and on at me, I might just stay in bed until I was hungry, too hungry to stay in bed. Yeah. I've only been recording for 19 minutes, well, 20 almost, but it feels like a lot longer. Of course, I should probably get home before somebody wakes up and decides to come check on me, if that, that indeed would happen. But yeah, so my dad gets up at about 5:30 because he leaves for work at like 6:15 or something. Something that I know that can help people with depression and also help people be more active is, getting, a dog, something that requires, a lot more care than a cat, because cats are very independent, and of course I have to go out and walk it, and that would get me exercise, and of course I would be active, and then I would be tired during the evenings. But my mother won't even entertain it. I mean, my dad used to be in the police. He retired last year. And... or was it this year? No, it was last year. And he... he had several opportunities to take a police dog. Because what they do is they home a police dog with a policeman and their family, and they care for the dog, and then the dog goes to work and goes off to the canine unit, and at the end of the day it gets picked up and it gets taken home again. But my mum would always say that she could never live with herself if it got killed in the line of duty, because she's of the belief that the more dependent an animal is on you, the more attached you get to it. And the more attached you are to it, the worse you feel when it dies. And she's already said that after our two cats, Willow and Scooby, die, she's not having any more. So, and if she's not having any more, we're not having any more. That's the way she runs things. And every once in a while, I sort of bring up the subject of me wanting to get a dog, like a rescue dog or something. And she's just like, nope, she doesn't even want to discuss it with me, even though, I could tell her all of the benefits that it could bring to someone who has depression, anxiety problems, and also being on the autistic spectrum. So, yeah, it's like, she's not even willing to entertain the idea. She's not even willing to entertain a lot of ideas. There's a fair bit still left, but I'm starting to feel a little bit queasy. I've noticed that if I have too much, probably nicotine, that it makes me ill. Like, the last year, when I remember smoking a cigar in the car and feeling ridiculously ill, I was driving home and I wanted to throw up, so I had to pull over and just sit for a while, and eventually it passed. And then in January this year, when I was at my aunt's, I smoked. She let me smoke one of the cigars in the house, and I finished it all, and I was sick. So it seems like if the cigar's above a certain size, it will make me sick, and it's always twice. I always throw up twice, always. I don't know why. The 2 times that it's happened, it's been twice, and then I'm fine. It's ridiculous. Like maybe I have like a nicotine intolerance or something. I do know that if you inhale cigars too much, you get bellyache. So it could be that I'm inhaling too much of the smoke. But the one that I smoked last that made me throw up was the last Romeo and Juliet at Churchill I had, and I was sitting outside and smoking that. So it must be the nicotine. So I'm having to limit myself to smaller cigars. because it's been established that the large ones make me ill. I mean, maybe in a few years after my body's gotten used to the nicotine, I might be able to move on to smoking the bigger ones again. But for now, I'm just going to stick to the small stuff. If I do indeed carry on doing it, I mean, I don't feel cravings for cigars. I can go for weeks and months without having one. Now I've got a bit more money, I'm buying them more often. I'll buy a box and it will take me a few weeks to get through them, regardless of how many are in there, because I don't tend to, go outside and smoke them very often, because I like to sit at my computer. It's usually, if we're out and about or I'm sitting in the car doing one of these videos, as you're well aware. So yeah, it'll take me a few weeks to smoke a box. And then maybe it'll be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. Then I'll get another one. Sometimes I finish one, and then I get another box. The next time we're out. But that's not all the time. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm addicted. I don't feel addicted. And when I do decide I want to smoke, it's not, oh God, I really want a cigar. It's I think I should have a cigar. I don't feel the need to smoke them. I just enjoy it. I'm not a slave to lady nicotine like cigarette smokers are. I don't know if pipe and cigar smokers get addicted. Anyone's wondering what this is, I have had it on several of my videos, but it's not been visible. It's a remembrance poppy. It became a symbol of the soldiers who died after World War One, because it was the only thing that grew in no man's land when the battle was finished. A barren wasteland, except for clumps of poppies that were just growing naturally. And so they took the poppy, the Royal British Legion took the poppy and made it the symbol of remembrance. And every year since then, they've manufactured paper poppies, I would say, I wouldn't necessarily say sold, more like if you don't, they'll have collection tins and stuff, and if you donate them, they'll give you a poppy, and you wear it to show that that you've supported them and you respect the sacrifice of all the hundreds of thousands of soldiers that have died over the last century. It was initially a symbol of World War One, then it became a symbol of World War Two, and now it's just a symbol of soldiers killed in all wars, including the most recent campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan, which I won't call a war because there was no formal declaration of war as such. It's merely just a campaign. I don't think I've gotten one every year, but if I've had some change in my pocket or something, I'll just I happen to come across one, I'll give them some money and get a poppy. And I like to wear them. I remember when I was in first school, they used to come around and they would sell them there. I mean, of course, it being first school, they didn't ask for very much for them. You'd say to your parents, "Can I have 20p for a poppy?" And they give you 20p, and then you'd go to see one of them, and in between your lessons or something, and then you'd wear it on your school uniform for the rest of the day. We don't have it ingrained into us in the sense that in the same way that America does. Like, America is very big on its military, respect for its soldiers, and if someone does something to the American flag, there are a lot of Americans who consider it massively, grievously offensive, and they're saying that it's an affront to the sacrifice of all the soldiers that have ever served their country. But over here, people just don't care. I mean, in some cases, you're lucky to not be hated if you're in the military, because we're not as bigger fans of our military and our government and our police over here, they're viewed as tools of the government, and most people hate the government regardless of who's in power. So yeah, apparently, I don't know if it's true because it's just something that I've heard rumours about, but some Muslims have been complaining that they find the poppy offensive. And if someone told me they found this poppy offensive, I'd tell them to fuck off, to be honest. Muslims fought in the world wars as well, on the side of Britain and its allies, so it's as much for them as it is for the white British soldiers who died. So, and I'm not gonna make apologies for being a patriot and being grateful for the sacrifice of all those soldiers. It's very weird sitting in an empty car park in the middle of the night. Well, it's not particularly empty. There's probably a dozen cars here, but it's usually full. I've really waffled on here. I started off talking about my insomnia, then I was talking about my mother, then back on my insomnia, and now I'm talking about remembrance poppies and Muslims and stuff. Yeah. Another 10 minutes of talking about that. Oh dear. Yeah, I should probably make a move now because it's 20 to 4. So yeah, I should get home. Be seeing you.